It was an unlikely encounter between a neo-Nazi and a woman who represented what he thought he hated. And the result was completely unexpected. Good evening to you. Thanks for being with us. I'm Carrie Sharp. News Channel 5's Phil Williams learned about that encounter when he recently took time to listen to members of the Jewish community. And what he heard may be a lesson for all of us. Phil, it was an unexpected moment, and it also took you by surprise.
Without a doubt. It came as I was asking members of the Jewish community here about their personal experiences with anti-Semitism. What woman chose to do with such a moment appears to have made a difference. So many people have just never really gotten to know a Jewish person.
That's right. That's right. And we're not that big of a deal, you know, like.
For members of the Jewish community that I met for this conversation,
MTSU professor told me that another professor asked him to show him his horns because he was Jewish. And he's like, what? Yeah, show me your horns. I mean,
anti-Semitism has sometimes manifested itself in the strangest of ways.
I went to Belmont University. I was one of only a handful of Jewish students and had all sorts of comments and things shared and said, do you have horns? Or, you know, do you really control the weather, right? Serious questions.
For this 17-year-old high school senior,
and my experience of this has definitely been a lot more implicit.
One of her experiences came when another student suggested that she knew another Jewish girl's vote in a school election wasn't really up for grabs.
And she was running against me. She's like, I know you're voting for her because she's Jewish. It's like, okay.
As if all Jewish people think alike.
Yeah, and all Jews, like, automatically, it's the dual loyalty trope. It's my school election, you know, there's no dual loyalty there.
One, however, had a very different confrontation with hate. Melissa, right? Goyim Defense League.
I've become very familiar with it.
Wake up, America! It's the Jews!
Tell me about that day that you were on Broadway.
So that day has turned into several months.
Take care of your daughter.
She's crying because she's scared of you.
On that Sunday afternoon on Nashville's Lower Broadway last summer, the neo-Nazi group, known by their acronym GDL, was spouting their anti-Semitic rhetoric to anyone who would listen.
I was down there, and we had some girls from Israel that were staying with us, and I was with a friend, and we had our kids down there, and it was just a day that I was just done with it.
This video from the GDL live stream shows when Melissa first got into the middle of the group's protest as they tried to recruit followers with their flyers.
I watched people say, well, what are you talking about? Where'd you get this idea? And they're able to pull them in.
You Jews are very selfish with your questions.
The more she listened to their hateful claims about Jews, the angrier she got.
Like, I don't know, I was just not in the mood, right?
But you got in their faces.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
I was done with it.
Guys, I am 4'11".
Wait, yeah,
I'm standing around a bunch of white men.
Yeah, we know you're not scared of us.
As a result of this encounter, Melissa began talking and texting for months with this GDL member from California. She says he eventually told her she was the first Jew he'd ever met.
He's just learning stuff off of the internet, and it's being reinforced constantly along with people. So he has these wild misconceptions about what Judaism looks like, what Jews are. It was actually a positive conversation that came out of it.
Is he still a member of GDL?
No, he's not.
What it took, she thinks, was getting him to finally see a Jewish person as a fellow human being, a thought that occurred to her when she attended the trial of Ryan McCann, the Canadian GDL member who was recently convicted for his assault of a young Jewish man.
I just wonder how it would have turned out if this person would have just made a Jewish friend from the get-go. Have somebody just been like, where did this belief come from? And had that conversation.
That's so beautiful, and also for your children, to like an example, right? For your children with you.
My children think I'm nuts.
For others, it's an idea that resonated.
But with dealing with hate, you can always find a way to kind your way into somebody's heart. You can always sit down, and if somebody's willing to have the conversation, even if it takes months and years.
For me, serving in council, for me being involved in the community and out front as much as I am, it's very deliberate. It's deliberate because I believe that if people don't know me and don't get to know me, they don't know what a Jewish person is.
Sherry Weiner is a member of the Metro Council and a former vice mayor.
I'm not going to step back. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to join forces and voices with my friends, with my family, with my community, and we're going to speak out, and we're going to let people know that we're just like they are.
One person, however, was more skeptical about the notion that the objects of the hate need to be the ones to fix it.
There's a certain point at which it stops being our problem. Like, we can't be the ones to deliver. We can't be the ones to be the nice Jews who have you over for Shabbat dinner. Like, we've got our own stuff to do.
Still, in their reaction to the hate they've encountered, the rabbi in this group sees signs of hope.
I feel actually very proud of listening to the people around this table, because if you pay attention, we are people that refuse to hate in return. That's what I think should be the way to go.
And the reaction on social media has been, shall we say, predictable for social media, with some people saying they just would not waste their breath on people who hate them, which is understandable. But I think the situation shows that sometimes trying something different might actually work.
It does bring a little hope into all this hate. And I understand that you reached out to this man who was a part of the group.
I did. I never heard back, but I would still love to talk to him, get his side.
Yeah, interesting to see how his frame of mind changed.
Absolutely.
Again, it gives us hope. Thank you, Phil. Now, if you want to see the rest of Phil's work on this very important subject, go to our website. That is newschannel5.com/hate.